Welcome to FMA Talk Live. I'm your host, Dr. Tim, and this is my wonderful co-host.
Hi, everyone. Welcome.
How is everyone doing on this eclipse day? I had the full eclipse, and it was interesting.
Like 90%.
Yeah, it was weird because we did a demo. Our school was doing a lightsaber demo, and they had it go like quarter to 3. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's just overcast, whatever. And then all of a sudden it hit and it went pitch black. So all my guys went running, got their lightsabers, did another demo while it was pitch black.
Nice.
And it was weird because it's like, all of a sudden it's like, it's getting darker, it's getting darker. It's getting dark real fast. Boom. And then all of a sudden, so it's pitch black for a while. And then it went to, okay, it's beginning to get lighter, getting lighter. Then went real light, real fast again. I'm like, whoa, that was quick. And of course the temperature dropped because, the temperature dropped. Hey, Eric, how we doing today?
Hey, Eric.
So, I'm finishing up a little details on what today's topic is. So we have two that was wrong. We have two topics today. So we're going to follow up on last week's topic about the social media. And talk about how much of an impact what I've done in this last week and how it's affected other things. So you have to keep in mind that when we do something, it is a cascading effect. It is not just a one and done type scenario. I've had some very, very good luck. Rich says hello. Dr. Ty. Look at
that. PG. Probably.
Doing well. How you can tell them doing? Yep, we are doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. How about you? How you doing?
Hanging in there. Got some, work's been fun lately, and then of course some things didn't work out. So other than that, I'm doing great.
Okay. All right. So, let me just get one more bit of intel. Do I need that? Do I have enough intel here? Anyone there? The rest are minimal. It's not a big, no major impact on what I want to talk about today. Maybe I'll do that last one. Okay. Okay. So last week we talked about social media and doing all this stuff, and okay. So here we go. Terrell, how we doing?
Hey, Terrell, how you doing?
He goes, it was autocorrect.
Yep. That's great.
And then Dean Branco. So Dean Branco and Ty and myself will all be in New Hampshire this weekend. Next weekend. This weekend, Ty, Terrell, and myself. Oh, Terrell, I'm assuming you're going. Ty and myself will be going to Glen Burnie, Maryland. Terrell, are you going also for a martial art tournament, a Filipino martial art tournament?
Yep.
And I threw my hat in the ring, and I'm competing. So we're going to see. My doctors told me to, and a physiotherapist said, now it's time to get out there and test the body. So, and he will be there as well. That's what I like to hear. All right. So the three of us will be down there this weekend.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And Terrell is hosting the FMA Expo this summer. It'll be Grandmaster Rodel de Guck, Tuan Bobby Ladra, and myself teaching the first weekend of August. So, and there we go. So cool. I got notifications, a little thing. My phone's been blown off the hook because of all the social media stuff. So, and I want to talk about. So I'm gonna pull this one chart over and stuff like this. So, what did I tell you guys last week? I'm doing. I mean, I don't know to what extent I told you what was going on.
I think you did sort of talk about the new approach and also the 60 or a ton of dailies.
Right. Did I say how I was doing that?
I think so, but I don't remember the company name though.
Okay, so I signed with I am contracted to do 4 months of content with this company, and they fed me a whole fashion show.
There you go.
They fed me a whole bunch of topics, and I gotta say the daily, it's hard. It is so hard, but the daily content approach is the way to go. Okay. It looks like I'm gathering traction. Yep. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Right.
And then greetings from the land of no eclipse.
Uh-huh. Great.
So today is day number 8, the beginning of day number 8. And I want to talk about what my results have been as far as, okay, so the 8th video dropped today. Now, so the first, let me go through the topics, and I'm going to paraphrase here. First one, what is, Burton does it, posts every day. It's hard, but this is edited stuff, which makes it even more.
Right.
What is a Sinwali? Why did I choose FMA? What's the number one mindset shift in self-defense? What fitness level do you need to be able to train? Here's the big one. Which is better? Why is Filipino martial arts better than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Now, that was a topic I was asked to talk about. That was not my volunteered. I just embraced it very well. Stick disarm, a knife disarm, and today we talked about what equipment do you need to start things off.
I saw that one. Yep.
So, double bag your sticks. Okay, there we go. Safe stick use. There we go. Yeah. Okay. And Guam. Yes, we know from Guam. Okay. So the footage is the videos are done and they're shared on 4 different platforms: Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. And then Dean says, I hope you're feeling better, Renee. And hello. Congrats on all the views. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So, okay. So, so with these 7 videos or these 8 videos to date, Monday, the 8th, I remember the 8th video dropped today, so hasn't had time to really get a lot of traction yet. I have had 2,001,732 views,
Wow.
more or less, plays of the videos.
That's amazing.
Yes. Now, I found out that the behemoth for me is Facebook.
Okay.
And yep. I'm here to give positive input to Tim's bids. Okay.
Okay.
Bids, yes. Wow.
Bids.
Yep. Wow. Okay. So now that's not it. And then watching from the clips, no glasses needed. Okay. So here we go. So we understand now that is just those videos.
Right.
Then I had a whole bunch. Okay, this is on my Datu Tim Hartman Facebook page is where the bulk of this coming in. The other reels I had on that page, and I only checked the reels there because I can figure it out. I had another 89,000 views.
Another reels. Okay.
Views. So of videos that were already up there that didn't have a lot of traction. I am over 2 million views at the end of a 7-day period.
Wow. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. Now, the behemoth is Facebook with, as an example. So I was asked to say, why is Filipino martial arts better than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? And yes, those are amazing numbers, and that's incredible. So I went through it, and I think it might be just better if I share the video here. What do you think about that, Ty?
Sure, why not?
I'm going to share the video here. Let me pull this up. Renee. What's Renee got here? You read that.
He says, wow, Tim, how did you have time to watch the vids 2 million times? It was a bot.
No, I actually why wouldn't you? Okay. And actually listen, I don't have the time to watch those videos, but we know the person who does. Someone who has rent free in their brain. There's actually a couple people out there that are just I live rent free in their brains. And okay, so here we go. Okay. All right. So let me. Okay, now I want to just say that everything in this video is true. Okay. So hopefully you'll get the audio. Tell me if there's no audio, Ty, let me know.
All right. I'm not hearing audio.
You're not hearing audio. Okay. So let's do this, and then let's do it again. And just okay. Let's do. I'll stop sharing because there's a couple ways I can do this. Let me do this. I'll get rid of this. Okay. I think that'll help out a little. I got this one. Okay. So I'm going to try this one more time. So I'm going to share. There's a way for me to do it, and I just sometimes get the wrong thing.
Right.
So let's do it this way. Both are good, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is phenomenal at working ground material. Matter of fact, okay, here we go. It's better than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. People ask me that all the time. Both are good, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is phenomenal at working ground material. Matter of fact, I'm a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the time of this video, but they work at ground techniques only. We work all the ranges, and as good as they are at wrapping people up and cuddling on the ground, I'm really, 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 really good at smashing people with a stick. Now people are going to say, hey, what if you don't have a stick? I'm really, 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 really good at stabbing people with a knife. What if you don't have a knife? I'm really good at punching and kicking, and I know how to grapple to prevent being taken down. So if you have a choice, my recommendation for you, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is great to enrich what your combatives are. But if you're looking for something that's effective, you come to the Filipino martial arts. And then later, if you want to work on a ground game, you can work with all those guys. They are phenomenal at teaching how to cuddle with each other. And once again, I'm a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And as martial arts, we need to poke fun at ourselves and others at times. If you want to know more information about why you should do Filipino martial arts and not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, just reach out and make sure you follow. So, needless to say, the BJJ people did not really embrace that video too well. I've had a guy call up or message me directly, wanted to cuckold me and stuff. I've had people threaten me through the video, and you know what? I've had people challenge me to knife fights, and I'm still waiting for them to show up. So,
that's pathetic. Well, and also, I mean, everybody, it probably, all communities are do the same things, right? So, and you were actually you gave them the props while they were doing it. So it's weird. It's weird.
So I had one guy. I mean, this guy is talking about he loved the video. Terrell did okay. Yeah, he thought it was crazy. And then he messaged me, and he was laughing his butt off. And then I talked about what else I could have shared, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, no, you're gonna get yourself killed." Hey Dan, how you doing, Mr. Medina?
Oh, nice. Hey, how you doing, sir?
Mr. Hiltz.
Nice.
Eric thought it was funny, and then Kurt. All right, so So I had this guy reach out, and here's the sad thing: like this guy was really upset, really, really upset, and actually, I've started talking to some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys because of this. Because the thing here you got to remember, I was contracted to do these. It's a social media thing to get views. It's a gimmick. It's clickbaity. That's what it's all about. The problem is I'm very convincing, very, very convincing. And me being a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is underrated. So first of all, before I go down this path, when you came up in the era that Ty and I came up in modern arnis, you learned a lot of Jiu-Jitsu. It is built in the system. Maybe a third of our system is heavily influenced, if not straight out, small circle Jiu-Jitsu. Yep. So I've been doing that my entire career, stand-up Jitsu. And at the ground stuff that you see that's emphasized in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is just the stand-up done on a horizontal plane. Thank Thank you, sir. I'm hoping that's a good reason why you're watching me. So one of my students, Kevin, would take private lessons from Buffalo's first black or Western Uni's first black belt, Kyle Saunders, and we would end up rolling and all this other stuff. And I kept tapping him out all the time. And he's like, how do you do that? You don't even practice. And I always do it. And listen, and the first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu program started in Buffalo in my school. So I was the one that started the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu trend in Buffalo because I had BJJ students who wanted to train with me, learn the arnis. And we started doing weekly classes. Okay. So I would tap Kevin out all the time. He'd say, how the hell are you doing this? You're not even practicing stuff. I go, well, I am, but still, he was doing north-south and all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. And he does textbook material. But the thing was, I was tapping him out with all my stand-up jiu-jitsu while being in his guard. Mm-hmm. Now, since then, all the stuff that I would tap him out with became illegal because when we started, it was when the UFC first started. It was no holds barred. You can do whatever you want. There were no rules. It was before the IFBJJ Federation, whatever, whatever. So, back, the Gracies, all no holds barred. That was the big thing about the UFC, and the Gracies the one that actually owned the UFC and blah, blah, blah. So the other week, I was acknowledged as a blue belt. My student, who is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a 4th degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, was the one that promoted me. And if you don't know about this, a common thing in promotions in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a lot of times you're surprised. It's not a test. You're being tested in every class, and all of a sudden a belt comes out, and sometimes you're rolling with somebody, and they're at that level that they actually take your belt off, put a new belt on, and you stand up when they're done rolling, and the next thing you know, wait, you got promoted that way. Now, that's not what happened. But I was awarded my blue belt. But the thing here is I've been grappling forever and a day. And how does a blue belt know anything? How does a blue belt? These guys are going nuts on this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's the blue belt does not represent my ability to roll. Now, this one guy goes off and starts talking at me. And I'm like, okay, he messaged me directly. And a couple of the guys that I've had dialogue with, actually, some of them now we're Facebook friends, and they're liking some of the rest of my material, and we've had good conversations. This guy is just going off. And I was about to, I sent him a voice message and basically said, I was about to sit there and tell you, hey, listen, man, this is a social media thing. Don't sweat it. I really like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and stuff. But then I saw your video. So this guy who claims to be a champion and all this other stuff, he's got a video on YouTube on his channel, and I want to watch it. I'm like, this is why people make fun of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He walked out. They gave each other 5, and he gives this hairy bear dude a hug, an attempt to take down. It didn't work. He sat down and just sat there and wait for the guy to get close to him to do a leg lock to him. I'm like, wait a minute. You didn't do a single leg. You didn't do a double leg. You didn't try to throw anybody. You just sat down on the job. I'm like, dude, if you would do that to me, I would stomp your ankles. I would do this. I would do that. I mean, why would I? I would walk away. Go sit down. Great. You're now in a puddle of whatever, in a bar or whatever. And I'm going to walk away, and you're going to look like an idiot. And I'm like, of all the people to mess with me, I'm like, really? You're going to be all hardcore, and this is what you have to show me? Oh, my friend, so bad. But and I'm really disappointed. I knew I was going to take heat on this, and I'm okay. I was prepared for it. What I don't like is not the people making fun of me. I mean, the first thing they go, "Oh, you're fat. How can you defend yourself?" Well, why don't you attack me and find out what happens? But and one of the videos we talked about, fitness. I go, listen, I had a couple car accidents, and the one guy goes, "Hey, you're not fat because of the car accidents. You're fat because you ate too much." I go, and I posted a nice response. I go, you're right. I tell my students that all the time. The car accident is a factor. I wasn't allowed to work out by my doctors. You get in a bad place mentally because you get frustrated because of your injuries and stuff. No doctor told me, Tim, you should alter your eating habits during this time. And I gained weight. I gained a lot of weight. But I mean, if your best shot at me is you're fat, Like, what leg do you have to go on? And I'm okay with that. Once again, that's not the problem. People attacking me anonymously, once again, used to it, have had that for decades. I've had cyberbullying long before it became cyberbullying, and Ty's seen some of the stuff I've had to deal with over the years because most people are ballless. But what really upset me on that is the venom they spewed towards each other. When people went and attacked me, or someone went to defend my point, and it just became a shit show. And like, and some of these guys, like this one guy was busting my chops, and he goes, and I looked on his page, like, hey, listen, we don't have to agree with this. And sometimes I'm down in your area. And by the way, thank you for your service, because the person served in the military, and I appreciate that. I want just to, and my point was like, hey, listen, I don't care what you say. It's not going to hurt my feelings if you disagree with me. I do appreciate the fact that you did serve our country. So thank you. And the point is just to be, nice and polite about that. But oh my God, the venom towards each other. Someone made a comment. Oh, I bet she's got a mail order bride. I go, yeah, you'd lose that bet. Oh, this guy's been in a fight, whatever. Well, what would you do about if it was a 10 mil? I go, I'm more of a 45 and a 223 kind of guy, and the one guy, oh, you probably have battle axes all over your school. And I'm like, no, I don't. Tomahawks, yes. Battle axes, no. And then, oh, you're the love child of Guy Fieri. No, he's younger than me. I am not the martial art version of Guy. He is the food industry version of me. Get over yourself. So let me get caught up on here. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And then Carl, how you doing? Hey, your daughter messaged me about picking up packages. I want to verify that that's true, that it's actually her. But and then per time for a joke about thick your stick. Okay, there we go. Good evening. All right, Tim, nice to see you. So I thought it was fairly tongue-in-cheek, the video. I knew stuff was going to come my way. I've had people threatening me. They're going to report me and all this other stuff. I'm like, report me. I go ahead. Report me to what? The BJJ police? What are they going to do? Sit down on the job? They're going to sit down to an ankle lock or something, and I'm just going to walk away. The one thing I really, and it gave me an opportunity to respond. And I guess one of the things, and I want to talk about it in one of my future videos, is that our industry has really done damage to us because all we see on the internet, I mean, okay, it's based on percentages. You see all these videos on Filipino martial arts, and the vast majority of them are using weapons and not unarmed responses. So everyone's got this preconceived notion that no one knows how to defend themselves against open hand combatives. Everyone's like, well, you going to walk down the street with sticks? Well, then everyone's like, well, if you get hit with a hunk of rattan. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're thinking. I'm not using a hunk of rattan. I'm using something. If I'm using a stick, it's probably like a baseball bat or a 2x4 or a tire iron, a crowbar, my axe handle, Yeah, a lot of people don't have a sense of humor. Well, the grappler, I'm sorry, the cuddlers out there really just don't get it, I guess. So I'm going to propose the next one is why Filipino martial arts is a better choice than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the zombie apocalypse. That ought to be a good one. I mean, it should be a no-brainer. I mean, like, okay, I'm going to pull guard on the walker. What's going to happen there? They're going to get bit. And then they're going to become crawlers. They're going to come at us like crabs, which are easier to get away from than walkers. They don't, they're just going to scurry. They're going to pop them in the head left and right. But I mean, I think that'll be a fun one. I mean, I could have went down the path of, the homoerotic stuff that they talk about. I mean, like north, south, isn't that just a PC way of saying 69? I mean, really, I don't know. I don't know about having that, if we want to brag about putting each other's junk in each other's face. I mean, come on, really? So, but okay.
Well, it's even weirder than that, right? Because if you look at what you said, the only pejorative thing was the joke in reference to cuddling versus grappling, right? So I mean, it's another illustration that people who want to be offended are really good at that. They're really, really, really good at being offended if they want to be offended.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, so I put one of my knife defenses up there. Oh, you're going to get cut. Yeah, I know. And your point is, I'm not going to get stabbed. That's it's, and oh, that'll never work. So, and here's the problem with a lot of people. They're already thinking about a dueling scenario. They're not thinking about an untrained opponent that picks up when it comes at you. Because really, if you actually, and this goes to everybody, if you actually think when the population is less than 1% out there of people who do martial arts, you think that the majority of your attacks are going to be from trained opponents? Come on. Statistically, it won't happen. You'd have to be fighting everyone in your school on a regular basis. Ty and I, and PG Craig, who should be logging us sooner or later, we were in the middle of a street fight in the Philippines, and no one was there were Filipinos being martial, but there was no martial arts going on there whatsoever. Bricks, stones, whatever can be picked up and hurled at each other. There was nobody. Actually, I don't even think anyone was using a stick in the fight.
I didn't see that.
And I'm like, come on, really? I was doing the disarm with the sticks, and Craig had 2 sticks in his hand, one in each hand, so we wouldn't have to keep picking the sticks up because you're just feeding me. Oh, a guy wouldn't attack you with 2 sticks. Oh my God, it's a 1-minute lesson. Get over yourself. Actually, it's a lot of times it's like a 40-second lesson. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more to it. The smart move would be, hey, what are you doing there? Can you share more stuff with us? Oh yeah, but I'd love to. But it's just hilarious.
Look at it from their point of view. They see what you're doing. They go, oh, well, if I saw that coming, since I'm now looking at it, this is what I would do. And that's why it wouldn't work. Again, that's not really what it's not real. For. Yep.
Well, and I get it. They'll see other arts out there that I've got a love-hate relationship with our own people. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking the modern Chinese people. I'm talking the Filipino martial art industry. Mm-hmm. We talk about stuff and people, oh, it's more effective than anything else. I go, well, then why are you teaching antiquated material? If it's so high speed and effective, why are you teaching stuff from a stick dueling scenario that would never happen? There's a lot of styles that I'm exposed to, and I never see them dealing with someone throwing a hook punch or a haymaker at them. It's always, hey, the person's going to do this and do that. I go, no, the person's not. Because the only guy in your neighborhood that does martial arts are probably the people you're training. Just a thought. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Okay, to get back over here. The good thing, now here's the cool thing, the real cool thing about all this. My phone has been lighting up left and right, which has been draining my batteries, which is not the cool thing. But people from around the world have been reaching out to me on getting lessons from me or finding schools in their area.
Nice.
I've had 4 inquiries from the Philippines, 5 from Canada, and a whole bunch throughout the United States looking for places to train. And I got people that are now talking about coming out and doing private lessons from me. They live just down the road. It's really helping. I think this is a good thing for the community because now, and listen, everybody out there, if you offer a Filipino martial art program that you have dedicated nights for it, not I teach karate with our niece blended in or whatever. I'm talking if you have a dedicated Filipino martial arts class, direct message me or email me at datutim.com, datutim@gmail.com. I'm putting a database together. What I want to do is when someone says, do you know someone here? And I can say, yes, I do. You can talk to this person. Now, I'm not going to vouch for anybody. Not going to vouch. But if there's so right now I need somebody in Orange County. Someone's asking me about who's down in Orange County. Someone else, what about Burbank, California? I'm looking for that. Boise, Idaho. I'm looking for that. I've done some recommendations to go, well, here's a Jeet Kune Do school. They do offer Filipino martial arts as part of the program. You can try there. I got a guy up in Toronto, so there's 3 clubs I'm probably referring people to, which would be in no particular order, Paulo Rubio, Combat Arts, which has multiple programs in there. Joey Reyes is there. And Justin teaches there as well. And then Sean Zerger, who's got a dedicated, he's in Toronto proper. One, so it's Toronto, Markham, and Mississauga. Those are 3 there. These are dedicated programs. These are programs that and there's probably more there. I mean, I know there's more there, but I haven't been up there bumping around a lot since COVID. So who knows? Who knows what it is? Who knows who's still teaching? I know my Kuntal and Sikaran instructor retired, so there's one less club I can send things in. But and there's other things. I mean, I know there's Union Martial Arts up there and a few other places. I think they're in Hamilton and stuff like that. And then I know out of Toronto, like Cambridge, we have Carl there. We got Jason and Brad in London, Ontario. We got Deep River. We've got Mr. Hiltz. We got North Bay. We got Chris Workman, and of course PG Craig is up in Sudbury. So, and then just a few right there. You got people who are onboarding right now, like Claudine out in where is she? She's over by Windsor-ish. So we've got some people that were in the process of onboarding and stuff like that in Canada. But I mean, I don't know. Oh, and then I know another one, Archie Lutz. Archie Lutz does Kali Lustrissimo and boxing. I don't know how much of those that. There are dozens. I just don't know how many are still doing. Oh, Makoto does stuff up there, but it's more of a JKD stuff like that. Chris, how you doing?
Nice. Hey, Chris.
Hey, did you hear the numbers from after last week?
Yeah, he would probably be eating that up.
Yeah. So let me give you another number. So let me see if I can find this right here. So I put a spreadsheet together that I could follow. So at the beginning of last week, I had 2,200 Facebook followers, and I had what did I have? 2,900 Instagram followers, and 1,000 TikTok, and 1,000 YouTube followers. So from 2,200, so from Instagram, I had, I'm not up to a lot. I'm up to 3,200 followers at Instagram. So that's only gone up a couple hundred. The big success story, once again, is Facebook. I went from 2,200 followers right now, 15,700 followers in a week's time. That's huge.
Yeah.
7 times what I had. So, like I said, 1 week we figure collectively over. I know just for those 8 videos, I've done over 2 million views. Then there's probably another 89,000 on overflow videos. With the reels that were already, now that's just on Facebook. That's not.
I was gonna say that's only reels, or is that your other videos as well?
No, that's just the reels.
Okay.
So I wasn't checking everything else. That's not all the TikTok stuff I had out. I mean, okay. And the case in point, let's say the BJJ one was the biggest one. Okay, so YouTube, I only did about 1,400 plays with that. Then you go to Instagram, I've done 31,000 more or less, just under 31,000. Then I go to TikTok, 356,200 views, and then we go to Facebook, 1,200,000 views. So that is in a 7-day period. Today starts the 8th day. So, and the thing is, when we start doing stuff and you start really pushing stuff away, plugging it out, it will affect all your other videos. Now, currently this is reels. I didn't see, and there's probably, I know all this, all the social media platforms have a way for me to check my metrics. There's some things I didn't know was there. Google Suites, business, the business suite, Meta business suites from Facebook. I never really used it. Now I'm responding to stuff. Now I know how it works. There's a need for it because I'm getting messages there left and right. But I've had so many people reach out for training. I got a call today from Puerto Rico about me coming down and working with people. So they want to do the university, and then I'd come down and do gradings. It's just 1 week, huge. So I want to, like, say, after so we had that talk last week. I definitely wanted to see what I'm doing here. There are literally dozens of active clubs that are teaching. And I guess the thing we'd have to find out is if these groups, clubs, it could literally be that where it's a club of people that they don't want any. I know Joe Apostle teaches a small group, and other people teach small groups, and some people, they don't want any more than what they got.
Right.
It's just like, no. It's just, but definitely I'd love to be able to have a network. So if someone reaches out to me and says, where are you located? I was like, well, where? Okay, I'm in Toronto. Well, that's a vague site. Are you near Are you in Toronto? Are you near Markham? Are you near Mississauga? What exactly does that mean? Because the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, just keeps evolving and getting larger and larger and larger. So
I thought you were going to say Grand Theft Auto.
It could have been Grand Theft Auto. It could have been that. Taylor Swift. I'm now the Taylor Swift of our news.
I see. There you go.
So they call them Swifties. What are you going to call me, my people? And I'm not going by Tay Tay.
That tutu?
Tutu. Da tutu. Yeah. So, it just, I've had a lot of success. Oh, this guy's okay. There we go. Cool. The big thing here is, if you're going to do it, make it real simple. You got to be consistent. You got to put out regular content.
Just like everything else.
And the thing here is this. Okay, I'm doing 4 months of this straight. So my team comes up. They fly up for the day. We do all the video footage. They've got the content, and then they're going to dice it up, do all the words on there and everything. The Hardys. That might be confused with the Hardys, which are a wrestling team, or the Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys, yeah.
Hardy Boys could be that as well. So, so that's that has been a huge success. We want to follow up with that. And this is just beginning. The big thing is engagement. So when someone says something to you, you gotta
follow up. Yep.
You gotta follow up. I always said, I'm really disappointed about the ugliness of what's going on. And once again, when I'm saying that, I'm not whining about the attention I'm getting. I mean, this is what the whole point was. I knew this was going to happen.
Right.
I just don't like how ugly people are getting with each other. Datu's dogs.
People gonna people.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm grumpy. So.
Yeah. I mean, just, I was very disappointed on, like you said, there's a lot of venom. And of course, you get all the anonymous haters and all this other stuff and
sure,
blah, blah, blah. So I'm once again, I've got broad shoulders. I can take the heat, but it's really disappointing on how venomous people can be with each other when people don't see their way. I mean, like, once again, okay, you don't like me. You don't like what I'm saying. I mean, like, when we went to do the video, I'm like, how do you want me to play this? I'm like, well, we know controversy sells. I go, can you be controversial? I go, I thought you said you watched my videos. I was being sarcastic, Tim. I'm like, okay.
I thought you were going to say, hold my beer.
I mean, like, I can be sarcastic. I mean, And the one guy I was talking to Australia, which we've become very understanding. I don't want to say we're close, but like it's like, dude, you rock. No, you rock, dude. And it's just like, those kind of guys that you don't know much about, but it's like it, I messaged him initially and like, as I talked to him about this, I go, here's the problem. I was told to do this, and I'm a little too convincing. I mean, I did performing arts, so he goes, yeah, you are. And I was hanging out with so we did the eclipse demonstration was put on by the Chamber of Commerce. I'm the vice president. I was talking to I don't know if it's the treasurer or the secretary or one of the officers of the board of directors. Tracy and I were having a good conversation. She introduced me to her husband, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the one that she probably complaining about. Now listen, no. I said, you came in the first day all like, we didn't know who you were. Then the second time I met you, was like, okay, I like him. Because I just have that resting angry face.
Well, at least they gave it a chance. That's good.
They gave me a chance. There's only one person that's really not digging me right now, and that's okay. We'll win her over or bury her, one of the two. Well, you guys know I won't bury it. It's always pigs. They get rid of bodies very well. You just have to get rid of the teeth. So all of my let me see here. So let's do this. My Hardees, my Datu dogs, and any other of the acolytes out there. Nice. It's probably, I hope that mud I stepped in, which I'm pretty sure that's rodents. Does anyone have any follow-up questions about the social media aspect? But I got 1.2 million views in one video.
That's crazy.
In 3 days. It dropped Friday. Okay, it dropped Friday at 4 during our meeting.
I think that's essentially viral.
I just don't know how it tracks on
right.
If Facebook Reels count as that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I think the
kind of exposure,
the virility. That's another story. Whether something's viral or not, I thought that was on more Instagram and YouTube.
I think if it just gets around more than your like an avalanche, more than your initial contacts.
It was
contacts upon contacts.
So it went 1 million yesterday.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, I think that counts
last
as
night. So we did 4:00. That was Friday. It dropped Saturday, yesterday. So in probably a 56-hour window, it hit 1.2 million views. And it keeps getting bigger. I mean, it's slow now. It's slowing down. But right. There's a lot of comments on that one. But like I said, after that hit that point, all my other videos started blowing up.
Sure.
Ones that had been up earlier. Like the first one, What is this in Wally, is at 166. Looking at the page right now, it's 166,000 views.
Nice.
It was 40,000 views when the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu one blew up. So if you've got a lot of content, when people start looking, they'll look at everything.
Mm-hmm. It does help if it's bite size like this. So this is something you do every day, and it's just a short. What is about a minute, 40 seconds, somewhere in there?
About just I think it's like 55 seconds ish.
Okay.
But I don't know how the guy's doing it. I mean, like, because I know enough about this stuff. Okay.
We've edited videos. Yeah,
we've edited videos. So there's something I'm missing here, and I gotta look.
I think the word highlighting and stuff, there's automaticness that you can do for that, so that's cool. But there's a lot of
different colors and all this other stuff too. So
right, but they do the fast edits, the fast cuts too. So and that looks pretty seamless. So that's work.
Yeah, and the thing here is, I don't think. I don't think.
No, I was laughing at Renee's comment. Does it count if people's videos go viral on Bullshito? I think that still counts as viral. It just might not be good.
Hey,
viral.
you know what? I don't. And here's the thing. I've been reported to Bullshito on more than one occasion, and McDojo Life.
Mhm.
And when they all went and did, when they came to look, they all defended my work. Like the one guy goes, "Oh, it's bullshit." I was doing the chair demo with Craig in New Hampshire. Right. What are you trying to say? You trying to say this Bullshito? McDojo? Yes, I am. He tagged the McDojo guy, and the McDojo guy came on, which I've met before. He goes, just like you're doing an energy drill. Exactly. Or attribute drill. Exactly. And the guy goes, okay. And he walked like, I don't know why you would think it's McDojo, but whatever. So I got to see if I have capability. Okay, that's what I needed. All right, now I'm going to find out something. I'm not going to give the farm away, but I'm definitely going to check something. Yeah, I went to Sam's. I had a video just to put a little thing for me being at Sam's. Oh, it's not on here. And on Instagram, it went from 200 views to like 8 or 10,000.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so, okay, let's do this. Let me just look at this here. I am looking at their freaking video, and I'm in the back of it, and they did absolutely nothing to it. There's no tags. There's no playlists. I can't. There's nothing. I don't know. These guys are good. I was expecting like a tag or something like nothing. Nothing's there. So here's another guy. I was in the New York City area. Like to train Filipino martial arts. Euro, Queens or Brooklyn. My name is Dexter Marshall. All right. Actually, I do have somebody. See, here's another inquiry. Right now, I got another inquiry while we're here.
Don't they know you're busy?
They should know I'm busy.
They probably don't know.
They should know I'm busy. But the cool thing is, I just did a referral for down there.
Nice.
So now I go to my brother.
I think you do that a lot more than people realize. Lots of referrals. If we don't have anybody there, that doesn't stop you, which is great.
There, I do referrals all the time.
Yep.
There's some people I won't refer people to, and there's no law saying I have to refer people. But there we go. There's one more referral. Goes out the door.
Nice.
So if you're down in the Queens or Brooklyn area, tsrkali.com. They are friends. Errol. Actually, Errol says he's his brother. So I don't know if it's like he's his brother or he's his brother, So
right.
But TSR Kali in the Brooklyn area. So
cool.
I said I want to put a database together. I've been off and on doing that for a while. Because everyone's like, why would you? Actually, Jack Latour put a good post up there. It was why he actually gave me a plug once again. Was, why am I promoting all these other things? And it's like, I don't want to teach everybody, nor can I teach everybody. And it's he quoted me, the rising tide raises all ships. I'm like, and in simple terms, think about it this way, if I have a people I refer people to, okay, let's say this is these TSR school, which I've never met the guy from there, but if Errol says he's good people, right?
Right.
Now I know that if I send somebody there, like, if Emily, she's in school in Long Island, she can make it up there if she wants to train. They say, I'm one of Dr. Tim's people. Oh, yay, Datu sent me a lot of guys. That's great. There's a jiu-jitsu school down the road, Japanese jiu-jitsu, that sends me kids all the time because they own the building, they have money, all they want to do is work out, and they don't teach children. But they go, hey, Tim Hartman's down the road. He's got a good program, and he sends people to me all the time. And I'm like, cool. I mean, when people ask about jiu-jitsu, I say, hey, go check those guys out. It's not hurting anybody, So I go, the world is too big and there's too few of us to teach.
Mm-hmm.
So any Hartman haters are going hating. Most people. Yep. Okay. So any last minute questions on our social media thing?
I'm not seeing any. I don't have any.
Okay. Like I said, one video, 1.2 million. Collectively, we're over 2 million views in the last week. So I'm very, very pleased. And like I said, the phone has been, the notifications have been draining my batteries. That's how I had to turn off TikTok off my phone. And but like I said, getting inquiries about this, that, and the other thing, it's a good thing, and it's a long game, and I've been at it for a long time already, so I had a head start. Okay, so that was the follow-up. Let's talk about what today's topic is. Ty, do you remember what today's topic is?
That's the wrong day to ask. Nope. Let's see. Nope.
You're right. It was preparing for future generations.
That's right, because we always talk about that all the time. So what does that actually mean? How do you do that?
So let's nail it. Let's get this down right. So first of all, I am a huge. Okay, people have held me accountable in my actions, so I do the same for them. When people say things, words are important. They need to be right. And with everything going on, I want to make sure that we want to prepare our future generations. So that's one of the reasons why I'm always correcting stuff is that people are not getting the information right. So I wouldn't say, if people got it right, they wouldn't be hearing from me. It's real simple from that. Misinformation. I'm worried about the future because if we get these things wrong, future generations are like, what I don't like hearing is second gen people telling me what Remy said. Like, okay, you're a second gen, which means you never worked with Remy, or most likely have never worked with Remy. If you weren't there, you shouldn't be talking about. What you should say is, hey, I was told that Remy would do this. What are your feelings on that? Because even if I tell my students something that professor said,
right?
Should you trust me 100%? Maybe I got it wrong.
Right.
Maybe I didn't communicate properly the intent of what I was saying. We talked about somebody and somebody thinks I'm mad at them because something I said on the show, and I was kind of like, and I still got to watch that video to see what I actually said, what context it was in,
Yep.
Oh yeah, I did say that. It doesn't sound right. Maybe I was busting your chops, but I only saw like the minute of what I said, not the whole setup for what I said. So, and it's important, So with getting things right, we have to get it right for the future generation. So now, actually, I went down the rabbit hole a little there. So what do we need to do? Because I'm always constantly talking about that next gen. Ty is always talking about that next gen. What have you done for me lately? Let's not worry about us, worry about the future. So how do we prepare our students to go on without us? Because eventually, I'm going to outlive everybody. So, I'm going to be 150 years old. I'm going to break SSI all on my own. But that being said, what needs to happen to prepare these future generations? So Ty, what would be one thing you would just go with?
Well, one thing would be giving them the material, right? Obviously, teaching is right up there, but that's not. Certainly you got to do that, and you got to promote that, and you got to do that work. But there's a whole. I think you need to develop a structure so that it can continue, right? Or do it if you reach 1,000,000 people, that is your default structure.
So you mean like a written curriculum? Is that what we're talking
Would
about?
help, right? Because now that's a structure. So if you do bespoke training all the time, one-on-one, like you always do, it's really, really going to be hard to make sure that propagates to the future, because we already see that with other arts, right? It doesn't work real well. So yes, a curriculum can make a common ground so that then people can pick up and train and parcel it out much easier. I'm a big fan of curriculum for a starting point, a bare minimum, a common ground, not for, ooh, that's all you're going to do, right? You do need to put the work in, deconstruct, reconstruct, get what you can out of that and any extensions you're doing, but make sure there's a core that is common so that when people move away, guess what? They get to continue on somewhere else, and things work. That's one thing.
So as we're talking about stuff, I got another person reaching out for schools in Orange County.
Nice.
Um,
Teaching kids, I think that'd be an important one.
Teaching kids. Okay, there's a good one. So do you think as a whole that it's the lost generation in Filipino martial arts outside the Philippines? I tell you what, in the Philippines, they do an amazing job getting the kids exposed to Filipino martial arts.
Sure.
Even if it's highly sport oriented, less about the art, more about the competition, but it's still getting people exposed.
Mm-hmm.
So over here, or did you say outside the Philippines? What do you think that's? Do you think that's as a whole? Do you think that's the ignored generation out there?
I think I see a much higher proportion of adults training Filipino martial arts than almost any other successful, and certainly compared to successful martial arts that get around a lot. Taekwondo, right? So it's a classic example of what has spread really, really far and wide. And what do you see? A big chunk of their work is which is teaching kids. For sure.
So, obviously, our organization does a very good job with kids. Mr. Wolf in Ohio has a kids program. PG Craig has a kids program.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the Canadians, our groups have a kids program. Obviously, I have a large kids program. Not all of our members teach kids, but a lot of us have gone down that path to try to push for that, because we understand that the next generation is and some people like, okay, you've taught kids, it's not your forte, but or I don't want to say it's not your forte, it's not the emphasis of your clientele, but
right.
You're also not teaching martial arts for profit. You're teaching free in the park on Sundays,
Right.
which some people is a lot of family time.
Right. And I've done tons of kids classes for my other art. I used to run those as well. But yeah, no, it's not my emphasis in personal interest, because I'm doing it for me. I already threw that out there. But yes, I think I'm actually pretty good with kids. Not the really, really young ones. I'll give you that, right? That takes some special skill sets. But any grade school and above, no problem. I enjoy it to a certain amount, but it's just very tiring for me. That's all.
Yeah. And Huh. Interesting. All right. So, yeah, I personally, I think if we want to keep the arts going, it's okay. If we're going to have any impact, we need to teach children.
Yep.
And if it's, uh, as I always say, if you have no interest on the art going any further than you, then this portion, I mean, this part of the show is unimportant to you. Then,
Mm.
I mean, really, okay, if you're just in there for personal development, you don't care. I mean, it's like, hey, I just want to make sure the school stays open so I can train. And when it closes or I get bored, I'm going to go and do something else. Okay, well, fine. Then it doesn't really matter, But, I know there's a bunch of us that want to see professors' art have a place at the big kids' table.
Yep.
We're always the ugly stepchild. I mean, you look at all the movies now, I mean, TV shows, you look at Arrow, it's all Filipino martial arts. But do we get credit for that? No. You look at the Born series, a lot of Filipino martial arts there. Do we get credit for that? No. Anytime you see blade and sword work, there's probably a greater than 60% chance that it's Filipino.
Mm-hmm.
Anything Ron Balicki's in, it's all Filipino.
Right.
Dune
more recently.
What?
Dune more recently. It's got a fair bit.
Dune. Yep. I don't think so much Balenciaga. It looked more like Sabrata to me, but
yep.
Someone threw the word out there, and people bid on it. Whatever. But at the end of the day, I think that we need to keep those things going, and get the kids doing it. The other thing is, whenever possible, I think when we see stuff in the entertainment industry, that we point that out, keep it relevant. There is, for those who are teaching, if you can tap into the movie industry. Now, it doesn't mean the big movies. You could be the independent scene. I'm doing fight choreography for a movie, actually. I got a meeting this week on it. It's a sequel. I haven't done anything since COVID. This will be the first one, but I've done fight choreography for multiple things. One was a real short. The whole thing was knife fighting. It was all based on what I teach, so, there's plenty of opportunities. Ryan Monolopoulos is tearing it up in the movie industry. And right now I can say this, but I can't say this. I can only say part of it. He is in Cobra Kai. He just got back. Well, he's not just back, but he was on the set of Roadhouse. He was in there. He did stunts there. Oh wow, Ryan's got a new. He's got a lot of projects he's done. Actually, I'm on his personal side. I need to get back to the IMDb because that's what I wanted to. There's a lot of things that may or may not be credited there. But okay, so his last movie he did that he's got a credit for is Roadhouse. Lady Ballers, Walking Dead. He's in that. Citadel. He was in that. Ghosted. He was in that for 4 episodes. Ghosted. He was a stunt performer. Wait With Me. Will Trent. National Treasure. The series. The Resident. He was in 32 episodes. So he was the stunt double for the lead in that. Walking Dead. Black Adam. She-Hulk. He had lines in She-Hulk. He got beat up by Daredevil. I guess that's a good thing, He was in Stranger Things, Spider-Man: No Way Home. He played William Dafoe's the stunt double for that. He rode the cycle. He didn't get a credit for it, but The Neighborhood, The Gifted, MacGyver. He was in 2 episodes of there. I mean, here he is, and his stuff, his martial arts is what got him in there. You know, there's plenty of opportunities for us to get things going and tie into things. So let me share. You know, so this is Mr. Monolopolis here, born and raised in Buffalo. But oh, look, there he is on the. That's Ryan right there. He's the stunt double for the lead of The Resident. He does a lot of filming. He's directing and producing, and anything that's fight based, it's all Filipino martial arts. So, so we have plenty of opportunities of avenues to promote what we're doing. And well, are you going down to the academy this month?
Yep. Yeah. Going down what? Next
Day before New Hampshire.
Exactly. Yes. I have to. Well, the day of.
Are you flying up?
I'm gonna have to drive.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
So
I'll get there late Friday night.
Okay. All right.
Late.
The room's taken care of.
Okay.
I got that all worked out.
Cool.
You, Jerry, and myself.
Nice.
So like the same kind of room we had last time was more than enough.
Yep.
So, so you're gonna be at the police academy, which I want to make sure. I don't know. Did you and I do a show about you're really not teaching the police if you're teaching the police?
We did, yeah.
Okay, we might want to revisit that. That's always a good one. But you know, the thing here is this: that we need to get out in front of a lot of different things, and the social media is a perfect example of how to promote this.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about books?
I mean, sometimes you can get some if you do your work good. I think you get some good historical reference. It's nice if you're already interested in the art, or if you're just into the academics part of the art. Or maybe you can use it as a set of notes for stuff you already know that you didn't take notes on, but guess what? Somebody else put them down, and okay, I learned the material, and this will help me remember it. I get that, but it's not gonna get the stuff out there by itself.
I don't think books are bad,
right?
But if people did their work properly writing books, then I think it'd be a good resource.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you get a book on fitness, they come from an analytical point of view. It doesn't say how my style is better than yours. I'm not saying that they don't do that in magazines and stuff like that, but I don't see it as much as, you know, why this art is better than your art type stuff. You know, basically what I just got done saying about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu versus Filipino martial arts. But I've seen it time and time again. I mean, and here's the funny thing. You know, people are, you know, I should pull out old black belt magazines or Inside Kung Fu where they used to have all those comparative situations where people would write, this is why my art is better than yours.
Right.
Well, why are you doing that? I go, well, here's where they used to do it all the time. It was in print. What are you talking about? You know, of course, now these days people would sue if you did that. Probably. Oh no, you cost me business.
I mean, in fact, everybody's got their own preferences, right? When you're saying an art is better than another one, you usually mean for you. Why I like it better than these things. You might agree, you might not, but this is where I'm coming from. And I think people forget to hear that.
Yeah, and the books, I don't trust people who write books to do that accurately.
Mm-hmm.
Martial art industry, because I've seen too much stuff already done the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I don't like about books is that people could read into things that aren't there. I mean, you can do it when someone's just talking, but I prefer video, audio, and then video. You know, I mean, you know, books on, you know, audiobooks would, to me, are better because if you're listening to someone read it, you can get the context better. If we're watching a video, you would think, unlike the video I did on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and cuddling, you would think people would have gotten that one a little better to say that it was satire. But of course, that might be a word that's not in their vocabulary. or they can't hear correct because they have those cauliflower ears. But anyways, see, I'm channeling my. Don't confuse me with the person I play on screen. How do you feel about videos overall?
And it's little similar, but a little bit different, right? So if you have, if the video's done well and you got a lot of different viewpoints, and you show the details you want to show, I think it can be a pretty good reference. It can also be a demo, and that's not necessarily to teach anybody, or it can be, missing a lot of details. But worse, and this is the thing I hate about video learning, is the feel that you get working with a teacher goes two ways. One, you get that feedback for yourself, and two, they get to do that for you as well, right? And adjust you and move you and that kind of good things and give you that feedback. If you don't have feedback in your training, at least at some point, I think you're fighting an uphill battle.
And that has always been a issue I've had about professor videos.
Mm. Oh,
even
right.
Wally J videos.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is the one thing you don't get out of the videos are the feel, and you have no good reference. I can talk all day long about what it was like to work with Remy, and you watch his videos, and I'm like, they're okay.
Right. Well, except if you worked with him, then you see the thing that he hurt you with, and you go,
Well,
I mean, not damage, but
for
the thing that
me,
you feel it all over again when you see it.
yes. I mean, when he does something to me, or when he does the video,
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely when I see him doing a technique, I remember oh man, I remember that move.
Yep.
Oh, that
Yep,
one
yep,
sucked. That was great.
Yep. Well, and then actually, this is where it's good, right? Because when you're on the receiving end of it and you're feeling it, that's great. You get all that good feedback. But what you don't get is some of the different angles you need to see how he did that. So if it's done well, guess what? That actually helps you. But again, I think it's a supplement, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's primary. I don't see how it can be primary, even if it's a related art that's similar. You're not going to learn that art. You're going to learn your version of that art at best.
I
But
mean,
that's me. I'm a stickler.
so I was talking to someone today. They were asking about my Modern East University.
Mm-hmm.
So how does it work? Well, we have online classes. Well, how do we test? You test virtually. You have a partner I go through, and you can earn a black belt with us, a basic black belt with us, and we can tell visually. But you're not allowed. We do not award black or degrees of black belt until you have crossed hands with us,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, I don't want to say it's a cadet belt because that's not the right terminology for it, but it's just different.
It's enough to get you going until we can both all feel each other and make sure.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I like the hands-on first.
Yep.
So I think what we have to make sure is, we'll use our organization as an example. We have regular uh, um, IDCs, instructor development camps, events that are specifically designed to produce not black belts, but instructors above black belt. I mean, black belt is part of it, but we want to develop people. We talk about some issues, how to overcome objections. You need to feel the pain and the angles.
Yep. And the angels too.
Right?
I like that. Yep.
So, So, I think a lot of the stuff, I think books and videos are a great supplemental material, but it should never substitute hands-on training.
And I think everybody who does hands-on training mostly agrees with that. I mean, different extents and things like that. And we probably all learned a new thing or two or three from some of those resources as you're exploring and doing your exploration work. That's good. You should do that.
What else do you think we should be?
For getting the next generation go out? Well, I think there's also the whole thing about getting the word out, right? So just interacting with the community, larger community than just your style, is helpful. I think getting out there in social media is useful, and they're related but not the same, right? So if you get out there in the larger martial arts community, then that gets, it becomes part of the background that all the martial arts know about. So when people ask a question, hey, do you know people that do this? Oh, these guys do that. And you can do cross style referrals, but you don't get that if you're not out there in the mix with people. Same thing with social media. If you're not out there to be seen, it's hard for people to see you, because we had that trouble with back in the day, right? How did you choose your school back in the day? Whatever school was near you or that you had heard about.
Even today.
Yep.
That's still the way it is today.
But just, with some of the things you're getting right now about questions about, hey, how to find a teacher near me, because of some of your exposure right now, that just proves my point, that it helps get that awareness out there, right? Awareness is not free. You have to do some work yet again.
Right. So goes back to the social media thing we did earlier. I'm getting a lot of exposure right now. And during this show,
right,
I've got people reaching out to me, asking me questions on where to find a school here, there, and everywhere in all parts of the world. Multiple inquiries for schools in the Philippines. And I'm not Filipino, but the thing here is I probably have one of the stronger presence in social media in the FMA industry right now.
Yeah.
Definitely, if I'm not stronger, I'm the hot topic at the moment. I know there's some people who've got more followers, but what are they doing? Use the example, Doug Marqueta. Doug is all over because of Forge and Fire. He's got like 633 or something thousand Instagram followers, which I had to do my homework and give my team information like that. So I knew, it's like, well, who are some heavy hitters in the industry? And I gave them the thing. And unfortunately, there wasn't many there,
right,
which was good because it made for an open market for me. But, well, here, let me give you the list of people, because I am all about this. This is not I'm not scared about talking about this. This is, let me see if I can find where this is. Oh no, I did pictures. I went and said, all right, well, who are the people that are above you right now, follower wise? I looked at all different things, like, well, it's all different. Like Arnis International had 28,000 followers, if I'm not mistaken. I was at 2, now I'm at 17. Well, that's on Facebook. That's not on Instagram. Instagram, it seems to be a slower uphill thing. Now, Facebook, I just blew up on there. Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, it's taking longer. But this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So as I go through, maybe I have to just look. Oh, wait a minute. No. Duh. I'm having a duh moment. We've had a few of those before, right? Or am I drowning right now?
Do what? Few of what?
We've had duh moments, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So let me duh.
Well, and then there's the good duh moments. I remember with Remy, he'd show you something. It's like, oh, obvious. Great.
Okay. So here we go. So I'm looking at like who are the big fish right now. Now I was looking at Instagram specifically. So Doug Marqueta has got 644,000 followers. A lot has to do with the TV show.
Sure.
Okay. Arnis International, 28.6 thousand followers.
Nice.
Kali Center, 13.9.
Right.
Kali Center on YouTube, 177,000 followers.
Okay.
Mark Anastasio, he's a Canadian guy, 87,000 on YouTube. Yeah, those were the guys.
Mm-hmm.
I really couldn't find many people that were bigger than that.
Right.
And right now, once again, it's on one platform. I don't know how this platform goes the others. I went from 2,200 followers to 15,000 plus followers,
right,
in a 7-day period on Facebook.
Right.
So, whereas I got about 100 followers on YouTube. YouTube is just slow.
YouTube, I got what, 3.6 thousand. That's it.
Yeah, I got 1,000.11.
Okay.
I
was pushing it pretty hard back in the day. Remember?
Yeah,
that was a struggle.
And then you got the effort in.
Mm-hmm.
Now I went from 1,000 people over on TikTok, and I'm up to 3,000.
Nice.
So, but I mean, each platform gains traction in its own way. It's not a
right.
I was just shocked on how quickly I went up on Facebook. That was like crazy.
That is pretty. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and like I said, more and more people are friending me and stuff like that. I mean, now 2 million views in a week's worth of content, I think, is a good thing. And then there's the residual stuff, another 80, 89, actually probably 90,000 on my previous reels. And that's just on Facebook. I didn't look to see what the stats are on all the other platforms. So who knows how much this is affected.
But that's really good to get the inherited views on top of that. That's where the money starts going to the bank. And we're not talking money. I'm just saying the results.
Yeah, I mean, and when we talked about this, the guys are like, well, actually, I'm looking on TikTok right now. Mm-hmm. I know that this is bump things up because I'm looking at my trip to the Philippines. I had like 300 views. It's at 2,700 views right now.
Right. Yep.
The last couple of, I mean, and actually there's 4 videos to the Philippines that were in the hundreds that are now in the thousands.
Yep.
So, this has had a huge impact. And I'm looking forward to it. My biggest video is Craig and I doing single Sinwali with sticks and lightsabers for a little over 10,000 plays. So, that was prior. Oh, here we go. Giovanni. Hey, brother. Giovanni, I bumped into a club in Makati out of nowhere.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. He's
nice.
With Andy Elliott, and they were the Australian Komaton guys. Although he's in Giovanni, are you in Hong Kong?
Oh, nice. Okay.
I think he's in Hong Kong. So like I said, I the other thing too is I think that these happen for future generations. So using modern East as the example. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was, and now you're back on AU. Good, cool. What needs to be done is you need to set up that infrastructure of organization. Mm-hmm. So case in point, I've appointed 3 people, Ty is one of them, to take control of things in case I am out of commission. I had a car accident a year ago, in February, and right up to the time I went to Brazil, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to teach. My leg was all jacked up. I had all these different issues, and I was seriously questioning what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, Craig was with me. Now I had plantar fasciitis, a heel spur that broke off, and they had just sucked out 100 cc's of fluid from my knee.
Right.
So, it was, but I knew Craig could take over for me certain aspects of things while I'm gone. If I needed to take time off, I could, I know that I could send seminars your way, Craig's way, Chad's way, and you guys could pick up some seminars and be able to service people and have a leadership thing going on if needed, So, and I think we need to, people need to know, ahead of time. I think you need to sit there and say, hey, listen, this is the deal, if something happens. And I'm not saying, and the thing here's what I'll say with my group: these are not successors. They are there to mentor, hopefully, our successors.
Yep. No, we're essentially the same age, right? That's not helpful.
Yeah.
And Chad and Craig are not too far behind.
Having the three of you guys as backup,
Mhm.
Yeah, you keep reminding me that I'm older than you.
That month matters, right? Look, I don't have gray hair.
That's right. You do not have gray hair. So, yeah.
But yeah, so then that's part of the thing. That's an organization structure. That's an attribute it's a little bit extra, but it's trying to make sure all the things are covered with that organization.
I know a lot of I think people are afraid to announce successors and stuff like that. And,
Right.
you don't have to necessarily use the word successor, but it's like, here are our top guys at the moment. And that changes. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, it could be, it doesn't, listen, it's a shame when people go in different directions, but sometimes it's a neat, so if, hey, when I appointed these guys in that position, one of the things I said there, I go, you have that position as long, this is, they accepted, and it's under one aspect of the thing, one condition. When you no longer want to do that, you need to find a replacement. Because we all like the fact that we all want the art to move forward. We want a legacy, professor's legacy, to continue on, and it'd be nice to know that we contributed to that. But for it to move forward, we need to make sure that people understand what's going on, who's whom in the zoo. We talked about on a previous show. Or actually, no, it was on Dean's show. When Remy was alive, he followed belt protocol. Whoever was the top ranked person in the room got the top rank respect after him. They got the teaching, they got the whatever they're supposed to do. Every time I would go to these camps, I was the one, it didn't start this way, but eventually I became the top ranked guy in the room. I was the one that would bow everyone. And we would, at least in Michigan, if we were in the room before professor was and he walked in, I would stop the room.
Yep.
We would turn to professor. I would call Handa, Pugai. We would give the salutation. And then we would, okay, everyone go back to what you're doing. And I'd walk up to him and say, okay, sir, when do you want to teach? Do you how much longer are they, like, what are they doing? They're just warming up, sir. Okay. So I have them keep going. Or he would tell me to teach him something, or he'd say, all right, I will take over now. Okay.
Yep.
Whatever the case may be. When the session was over, Handa, Pugai, we would do the whole thing. And that was my role, because 9 times out of 10, probably after 95, I was the highest ranked guy in the room, other than the professor himself, in his art. Actually, there's a lot of times I was outranked by people in karate or taekwondo or jiu-jitsu. I mean, Remy attracted a very high, he attracted a very big quantity of high caliber instructors out there that would apprentice underneath him.
That's where I
Grandmaster.
met Grandmaster Van Browning. I met him at Remy camp.
Yeah. And
Just
Remy
there
didn't
working with all of us.
Remy didn't have him in. He didn't seek out Remy. Remy didn't seek him out. He sought out Remy.
Right, exactly.
You know, and he added a lot to his training from what the things that Remy. And I'm pretty sure Remy learned some stuff too, because Remy was a sponge. You know,
right.
Whether it was aggressively or sitting on the sideline saying something. But
yep.
But you know, the thing here is, we need to establish these things now. So if there's a transition of leadership, it's easy. And listen, at the end of the day, people are going to do whatever they want. Doesn't matter who you put in charge. People will follow the people they want. But here's the thing. We want to make sure that there's a bunch of candidates so they don't leave the art. They just might not stay together on the path together. You know, the thing here is, I left modern, or I left the IMAF. I didn't leave modern. I left the IMAF, and about 30 black belts quit. Well, actually, a good chunk came with me, followed me. A bunch of people left. You know, well, you know, and I got things. Well, if you're not part of it, Tim, what does that mean? You know, I'm like, you know, I don't know. That's a good question. You know, but the thing here is, some people were just around for Remy because Remy was still there. He was the magnet, and then when Remy was gone, they had no more interest because it was more about hanging with him, and that's fine. But if we put people in charge now, then you'll know there's at least a group of quality instructors out there to teach. Mm-hmm. And it does, once again, it doesn't mean that that you it doesn't mean that you have to follow everybody, but you know, hey, you know, like when this all hit, I still talk about, when people ask me about who's whom in the zoo, I'm, you know, I don't like getting into certain aspects. I don't want to talk about things, you know, that'll be like, well, I'm not trying to put them down, but if you tell me who you think the top student is, I'm, you know,
everybody can't be top.
No. And, you know, at the time, there wasn't anyone else who had a dedicated school in Remy's art. So, you know, but sometimes when you say things like that, people get twisted. I'm like, well, it's not wrong. It's the fact. But I think Remy advertising for his events just by word of mouth? Yes.
And
Black Belt Magazine, Inside Kung Fu as well.
Yep. Karate Illustrated, everything. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times the hosts would actually do that advertising for those events, so they could cover down.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Professor had a good network. I mean, really, you know, like, I don't want to say I don't advertise. I advertise on social media. I don't put money into the advertising for my seminars.
Right.
But I put a lot of sweat equity into getting exposure. And now I've been doing I've signed a contract with a company that's helping me, which is why all this content's coming out the whole time. So the events there'll be a residual effect on my events. I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot more people, slowly but surely, more people coming to the events or being more aware of what we're doing. You know, Tim's coming in this area. I want to meet him. All right. And it could be hey, I want to see him again. Or it could be like, it was nice to meet him this one time. You know, like a lot of guys, there's a lot of people out there that I've seen. And, you know, once was enough. Had a really good time, had a blast. It was I don't want to say bucket list thing, as opposed to, it was a question mark. Then I met them, and it's no longer a question mark. It's now a period. I know what it is. I got my answer. So, What else are you thinking? Or do you think we covered pretty much everything there?
So we got organization, we got getting the word out, we got teaching, we got, like you said, books and videos. Where do those fit in? We talked about networking, but not with that word. But, like I said, interacting with the larger martial arts community.
I'll be right back.
I don't know where we put that, but I'm going to call it networking, and not just within your own art or just within Filipino martial arts. I think that's valuable. I've gotten tons of referrals to different arts, and that's what people want. I'll tell them what we do. I'll tell them, if what other people do if they ask, all that kind of good stuff. Or if it sounds like, hey, the way the questions are asking things kind of point to someone else, I'd much rather have them be in martial arts writ large than to do something and fall out, right? Because it really doesn't. I will say the best art in the world is the one that you do. So if you try an art, it may be supposedly better in some way, shape, or form, but you're not going to keep doing it, then it's not the best one for you. Or the teacher's not the best one, or the school, or whatever the teaching methodology is, or your time, right? There's a bunch of things that go into that. But anyway, yeah, networking I think is a big piece. What else to get the things to get it to continue on forward? I think standards make a lot, right? You could have them too high and they're unattainable, then nobody feels like they can do it. But what I see more often is low standards, right? And then again, nobody will want to keep doing it and passing it along, or they'll put their own spin on it because they're making up for some lack of understanding that they perceive. So again, then it's not standardized. And so what art is actually going on? So I think good, solid, continuable standards with high expectations, the right amount is I think key, but that goes into the organization side of thing probably too.
Yeah. I mean, there's people out there who are promoting, in my opinion, well, there's some people who sell rank. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Other people who are trading rank for support, which in essence is selling rank, getting back just a little bit, when you're talking about networking, okay, now it's important that everyone knows what scale is, like what knows the scale of something, so when we talk about, hey, a lot of people do this. Well, what do you mean a lot of people do this?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that you hang out with do this, or say, oh, all my friends do this, right? Okay. And what percentage of the population do your friends represent?
Right.
So I think a lot of people don't understand scale as a whole.
Right.
And when we talk about networking and being seen, people need to understand that we need to be out there bigger. So like, here's the thing. It's going to sound like I'm bashing people, but how many people do you think are known outside the modern artist community in the FMA world?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I'm not going to count because I don't know everybody, but my impression is that not a whole lot. Because most there's a lot of folks that we know in modern ace that some of them don't actually interact too much with other FMAs, let alone other martial arts in terms of expressing their FMA.
Well, okay, you and I are known outside just modern arnis. As an example, our group as a whole is known outside of modern arnis. We're known in Pikiti, Kali Lustrissimo, Dulce Perez, Balintawak, Combatan. The FMA community at large.
Right. Well, that's doing those cross-cutting events too, right? That's a part of that networking. So we not only do cross-cutting FMA events, we do cross-cutting martial arts events, like Matt was just asking about the Saratoga Martial Arts Festival, right? We're not making it this year, but we have plenty of years.
Yeah, we were going to be in a tournament that weekend in Maryland, which was scheduled prior to the announcement of Saratoga.
Right, the World Qualifiers or something like that.
So,
or it's a qualifying tournament for Worlds.
Not that the world's going to be there, but
No, right. But it's a qualifying, so that's pretty cool.
no.
And I am now I will get my week half certified judge certification.
Great.
When I walk in the door there because of the training. So doing things
outside our circle, and now go bigger. Let's go bigger.
Mm-hmm.
We're known at multi non-Filipino martial art events.
Mm-hmm.
Saratoga Martial Art Festival. There's one exactly.
Right.
Renaissance Martial Art Festival. Buffalo Niagara Martial Art Festival. The New Hampshire Martial Art Symposium.
Yep.
The main symposium. The gathering out in Sacramento.
Right.
Those are a handful alone.
Elite retreat in Texas.
Mm-hmm. So I go to the Maya convention. So the Maya convention is it is a martial arts business association thing.
Right.
People know who I was before I showed up. And it's a room full of school owners, about 300 deep.
Well, even for that matter, too, along those lines, the trade show, the Action Martial Arts.
The Action Hall of, the Action. Yeah. So,
Hall of Honors, yeah.
Who you won't see at these places or hear these places, well, is it bashing if I say it? No, you know what? Our group, I'll reverse it. You probably won't find any of the other Modern East groups at these events. Well,
yep.
And it's important that we get exposure not just in the FMA. I mean, really, who cares in the FMA world if people see who we are? They're already in the FMA world. We're not going to get them as students. We don't want to take somebody else's students.
Right.
We want to build our own student base. And that's a big thing there, and I don't think people understand. I'm like, okay, we go to this event. I taught at this event. Okay. Did you get paid? Did you donate your time? I was talking to our friend the medic who likes teaching Filipino martial arts.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he was at an event with World Kabuto. I was asked to teach there, and then all of a sudden I was told that I had to bring students. I'm like, wait, you asked me to teach there. I didn't ask you. You asked me. I'm not bringing anybody. So instead I went to Canada that weekend. It was my birthday. I got paid and they bought me a cake. So yay, but we were talking about going over places and they were going to go to Greece or something like that. And he was going to be part of the World Kabuto group there. And I'm like, and it's like, yeah, well, I go, dude, I don't go to these places unless I get paid. I go, you get paid? I'm like, do you think I traveled to 18 countries in 28 states teaching martial? I don't have the money to spend to teach at all those places. I mean, and the thing is, like, when we went to the FMA festival, there are people who paid full boat.
Yep.
And they were teaching at the event. I'm like, whatever, I don't pay to teach. I may pay to go to a trade show and do a teaching session there because it's an advertising thing.
Uh-huh.
But those are things that are which tangible return. Like when I would go to, we went to Alan Goldberg's events all the time. Uh-huh. I rented a table. I sold merchandise there. But before I rented a table, he was giving me teaching spots. Uh-huh. And then when I had both, I could make a lot more money that weekend, booking seminars, selling merchandise, all the other fun stuff. Okay. Which I got to decide if I'm going to go back next year and give it a shot.
I mean, we have a fun time there hanging out together.
We do.
Like I said, it's a good, fun trade show.
It's a hard drive because of the time of the year.
Yes.
Although the time we got snowed in was amazing. That was a blast.
Right.
So, okay. And let's see. French fries are not made in France. They're made in Greece. Oh, you're so funny. So I think we have to understand scale. So we set realistic expectations. I think when we talk about going out and networking, and I think some of the people we've kind of butted heads, or I butted heads with, and you've been a good soothing support there, was, people would talk about different things and they just, they don't understand scale, Oh, look, I have a big club. You do. Oh, I remember being at a tournament at Ray Galan's tournament when he was in Lodi, New Jersey, the guy from Bapakin. And they're like, yeah, I just thought of somebody. We got a big club. Really? How big is your club? It's okay. I mean, for a martial arts school size, it's all right. Oh, where are you at? I got 80 people right now. It's summer. 80 people. We're happy if we had 8. And they thought they had big clubs.
Right.
They're like, well, yeah, you have a club. That's big. I have a school. We're not in the same field. You have a club of guys that work out together. And I know that sounds condescending, but the thing is, I made it my profession. So I have no choice but to be more successful. If I can't be more successful, then I can't be in the business.
Right.
It's my job.
Yep.
And when I say that, a lot of people they just don't, well, that's pretty cocky of you. No, it's called confidence. But like when I was talking about the one board member and I were talking today, and we talked about the chamber and all this other stuff. I'm like, it's a chamber of commerce.
Uh-huh.
I don't talk about people's feelings. I talk about doing business.
Uh-huh.
I'm the vice president, so I need to talk about stimulating the economy. I also want to make sure that we do a lot of fundraising to ensure that the chamber can keep going forward. And if we have a surplus of money, then we want to do is figure out what we can do with it that can help the community by donating to the food bank and stuff of that nature, so, which was part of our discussion today. I'm like, great, this is good. Let's do this kind of stuff. But the thing here is, I don't mess around with feelings. I don't care what you feel. Let's get the job done. But then again, my first couple bosses at my jobs were all ex-military guys. And then I had a bipolar steel worker stepfather who was a real piece of work. So, I'm used to a certain mindset when we do things.
Right.
But I think if we're going to talk about stuff, we need to understand the scale of things and understand exactly. It's hard. Like, I want to bring people to, I would love to bring a whole bunch of people from our group, the Filipino martial art industry, to Alan Goldberg's event, so they understand how small Filipino martial arts is in the martial art world. It's like, see this event? Yeah, this is great. Wouldn't it be nice to have an event like this just for us? Why can't we have the nice things? Right. Why do we have to be the guest at somebody else's event?
Well, that's that get the F out part as well, right? That whole mindset.
That's actually one of the videos that's coming up.
Okay, good.
Actually, we need to do that on this show, I think.
Well, we've talked about that before.
I think we need to do a show just on that. Because people keep misquoting me. They keep thinking
I swear we've done a show on that. Get the F out, but
I'll have to look at all the titles.
Because of the the whole point. Know the point, but I mean,
pretty sure what I didn't do is I got to put these in today's shows. I did not set up a
announcement thing.
No. I know what I do is I didn't put them in a specific playlist. So for those, if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll now see that we have playlists. There are 4 playlists because there's 4 seasons of FMA Talk. So we actually went out and let's see here. I created 4 playlists for basically one for each season. So FMA Talk it's under podcasts too. So FMA Talk seasons 1 through 4. Each season has a slightly different logo on it. But I actually went through to make sure, because Rich was asking questions about it, and I go, you know what? I don't know where this show was. So then I went through and I put them all in the season, so I knew, and like we're all good. All right, let me see here. Let me look at this. Oh, nice. So that's cool. Keep setting the bar. Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, my friend? You feeling okay? So we have the bookend Datus here.
That's right.
So Kelly was the first American Datu. I was the last American Datu. we got both ends of the spectrum covered. Wait a minute, did I just say I'm on the spectrum?
I was going to say, is it
Was it Rich? Rich Parsons says, "Hello, Kelly. How you doing there?"
Nice.
There we go. So, yeah. So, what? And actually, Kelly was, he has worked on, if I'm not mistaken, has been working on his infrastructure for when he finally retires. That he's got people set to do specific things. Moving along. Okay, well, that's good to hear. We're moving. So that's cool. Here's a bunch of people who are above the ground, not below it. So that's a good thing.
That's right. Yep.
Good. So, I don't know. I can't think of anything else. It's been, the whole thing. Once again, I went through the eclipse today, which is very weird for it to go completely dark at 3 p.m. And it went dark real fast, and then stayed dark for a little bit. Then all of a sudden, boom! When it started getting brighter, really fast. So it was an interesting vibe. Eric, I learned something new on each show. You both make them my Mondays. There we go.
Awesome.
I would say, can I be a dad after 10 years of not quite the same thing, but no, I got somebody's whining. Hey, can you come over here?
He's actually been pretty quiet the whole day.
Yeah, it's been different. Hey, come here, buddy. Come here. The guys want to see you on. You want to go on show? My hairy sidekick.
Dr. Kelly loves dogs too, right?
Yes, he does. Last time I checked.
Yep.
Oh, he has months of darkness up there. Yep. Okay, so. Well, Okay. Hold on. Are you gonna come over here? Come here. Here we go. There we go. My furry co-host. This is what Ty looks when he doesn't shave his head. Yeah. Yeah. It's past his bedtime. His whole day is bedtime.
Right.
So, all right. So, I was going
to say anybody who's done the show was going to suggest that, we talked about, the second part of it was talking about, what does it actually take to make sure your art goes forward and continue to do that work. If you got other ideas and you want to tell us later, feel free for it. I know that you didn't get a whole lot of additional thoughts today, but we're happy to hear more.
Yeah. Once in a while we have people, we have some shows are very interactive with our audience and some are less. Mm-hmm. So the video on what you need to do Filipino martial arts that released today, it's up to 2,800 views. Nice. So I'm happy with that one. So if you get a chance, you look over at Datu Hartman. There's daily on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and/or TikTok. I have daily content scheduled to come out for the next 4 months. If you have some ideas of things you'd like to see, send something my way, but they're all shorts. I know we don't want to see people in my shorts, but that's another story. Okay. Woof. So, I guess that's about it then. Unless you can think of something we missed.
No. Well, like I said, I'm a little muted today, so.
I hear you. I'm tired myself. So next week we're going to be talking. We're going to do the follow-up of the tournament. Just do a review because we haven't done it before. Yeah. So it's the week after qualifiers. So we're both going to be down there. Terrell's going to be down there as well. And we'll let everyone know how things went there. And we'll tell you about the experience. And maybe if Grandmaster Carlos is available, we'll try to see if we can get him on the show. Because then we can talk about what happens afterwards.
Right. Well, I mean, there's a couple things. So we'll talk about that. And then also we want to prep the idea of anybody who's getting ready to go to the martial arts symposium. There's that. And then right after that, the next week, we've got the work camp. So
influences from other teachers and practitioners. There we go.
Yep. We talked about some of that.
Yep. What's going on with the sky? Is she moving higher to black belt? Okay. Oh, must be shy. Hopefully she's testing for her second degree next year.
Okay.
We got a pretest coming up for a lot of our evaluation for a lot at our camp this year, which is at the end of the month. We have a bunch of people who are being evaluated to see if they're on the right path for black belt grading next year. So every year what we do is at our camp, we have an evaluation. Everyone goes on the floor, including us, and does something. And we're constantly evaluating. Are you on the right path? Listen, that's a little sloppy, or that doesn't look right. What's going on there? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, it could be something I showed incorrectly or nothing, or maybe I never went over it. Maybe someone else showed them something. It keeps the people like us on our toes because it's something we have to train to be sharp for. It also helps figure people out. Some people will be ready to test with a black. We have at least one black belt candidate this year. And then we'll also see others go, hey, listen, I'm thinking about these guys testing next year. Are they on the right structure? Does everyone think they are? So these are all the different things that we talk about when we do these things. So we'll be talking about that after camp as well. I don't know about New Hampshire, if we're going to address a show, because both Ty and I will have very long rides home.
Right.
How long of a ride is that for you to get home from New Hampshire?
It'll be 10 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. 10 hours. Mine's about 8. And that's Sunday.
Right.
Can you avoid Boston, or do you have to go through there?
I can't remember. I think I can't remember. It's all a blur.
It's all a blur.
I just follow the ways until I get there, and we're fine.
These are not the droids. All right. Well, listen. Next show is going to be about the tournament.
Yep.
See if we can get some special guests. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You're watching. Hopefully, you're remembering to hear what I'm saying. All right. Well, listen. As always, it's a pleasure. And I love hanging out with my best bud over here, Mr. Ty. So, with no further ado, this is Dr. Tim
and PG Ty.
We'll see you all soon. Stay safe. Stay sane.